go. As Warren Cruikshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else, where we do not, hear me folks, we do not teach you how to rise to the occasion. We teach you how to fall to your level of preparation. 10 miles in, baby. 10 miles in. It's always great when you get a 10 miler after a 6 miler, day before an 8 miler, and you're still standing, still going, still being great, still continuing to be resilient in terms of the things that come against you, the difficult times, the good days, the bad days, the whatever days. You got to make sure you are continuously progressing and getting to a place in which you can fall to your level of preparation, because you can't just turn it on and off when you want to or when the time is right. It's about falling to your level of preparation. So fucking prepare. Fucking prepare for the day where you gotta step the fuck up and go be great and go be the person that you know you can be, that you wanna be, that you are striving and busting your motherfucking ass to be. That's what you have to do, all right? All that being said, today's Move Swiftly thought, recording this Friday, I believe it is the 17th. Friday, October 17th, 2025, where you have got to learn how to politely say fuck you, all right? Politely, say it in the most politely and the most professional way you possibly can. You got to learn to say fuck you. And I learned this, it's funny that I'm doing this now, because I learned this back when I just got into coaching and I went to my linebackers coach, in high school. Shout out to Coach Ginn. And, you know, I told him I was looking to get into the business and the coaching and all that kind of stuff. And he looks at me and says, hey, man, gotta learn to play the game. In so many different ways, man. You just gotta learn to play the game. And here's an example of that today. All right, so many of you know. If you don't know, I will explain it to you now. Recently, I started a new position at the school I teach at, as a sport and fitness coach. All right, that's the new position I started. They didn't have that position before me. It's a brand new startup school, and you know, it's K through 5. So when it comes to sport and fitness, a lot of these things come after some resources have been made available and after some things have kind of already been put in place for you to, you know, create a position like this. So I'm, again, incredibly blessed, incredibly grateful for the fact that I was chosen for this position, right? So it comes with some challenges, though. It comes with some challenges, especially as you're living out here in South Florida and the weather comes. I mean, when that heat hits you. And when you're out there by yourself, I want to make sure I make that point, by yourself with a group of kids, and you're putting them through workout routines. And, you know, I come from the college world. I've actually coached high school football and all that. I come from that world where, you know, the workouts become very intense. In fact, I've come from a world of boot camps where I'm actually teaching and, you know, putting adults through workouts and stuff like that. So I more so have to make sure I'm filtering myself and calming myself down so I don't overexert the kids and push them too hard, right? So that being said, if I'm out there by myself, the water has to be out there. I gotta slow myself down. I tell every one of those kids, make sure you get your water, make sure you stay hydrated, make sure no matter what, every couple minutes, hey, go grab some water. Even if you don't feel like you need it, go get some water. I'm constantly encouraging that, right? And the thing about it is, there are cups that we have in inventory, you know, as a faculty, as a staff. You know, there's tons of cups that are just laying around the building that come in just for us. So I just, you know, again, I took the initiative to take those cups, put it on the stand, and make sure that the kids have access to water, whether they, you know, have their water bottles or not. Even though the parents are told to make sure they have water bottles, at the end of the day, their kids, their parents, a lot of stuff going on, it's very possible that they may forget a water bottle. So I use those cups. So again, instead of getting encouraged, I have several colleagues that I clash with all the time. One in particular, instead of that being an encouraging thing, instead of him encouraging me to continuously give them water and stuff like that, or, you know, do things that, again, are going to be safe for the children, he comes to me with everything going on. He comes to me and tells me, oh yeah, well, we ain't buying those, we ain't using those cups for the kids no more. And if they just thirsty out there, they just gonna have to be thirsty, you know? So, and again, this is a person who claims to care so much about the kids, and every time you hear him talk, he's so, oh yeah, I'm for the kids. But then when it's convenient about being hardcore business and, you know, being, you know, sticky with the budget and all that kind of stuff, when it comes to that kind of stuff, when it's convenient for him to do that, now he does that, you know, because now it wasn't something that he thought of. Again, that's another conversation for another day. In fact, I've talked about that Talked about that very in detail last year when it came to the election. All right, then it's the same exact person. So anyway, long story short, instead of me complaining about that rule, I just simply took in the rule and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go like yesterday. So what happened yesterday is I went out to Walmart, I bought some of those squeezy water bottles that Gatorade makes, not just Gatorade, but just some of those water bottles that you could put water in, you can squeeze, and then, just like when you played college or played in high school, whatever, or even NFL, whatever, you'll see, trainers coming out with the water bottles, they squeeze it in their mouth, boom, they squeeze it, and then team can shit. So I just bought 4 of those for like $20, and boom, the problem is solved, and they still get their water. So again, you got to learn the polite. So that's me politely telling that guy who told me about, we can't use the cups anymore. That's me politely and professionally tell him to go fuck himself. Because again, when you're able to solve problems, when you're able to go out and create solutions and resolve things before they come up, that's when you start being appreciated. That's when you start realizing in your own heart, forget about what somebody else sees in you, but when you start realizing you were made to do a certain thing, and that's when you develop real confidence, not the cocky bullshit that, that person, that individual has when it comes to certain things and the way certain people talk to them and all that kind of stuff. So take that lesson in, because the more you excel, the more you grow, the more you build something for yourself, that specifically is going to be the issue that becomes unavoidable, and you have to have. And again, right after I called, I'll close you out with this. Right after I bought the water bottles, I called my mom and I just said thank you. Thank you for raising me with the mentality of saying, okay, somebody wants to put roadblocks in front of the things that you are passionate about. All right, cool. Go find another way, go create another opportunity, and then on the flip side, go become more valuable to the position than you already were. And that's how you do it, all right? And I'm giving you guys the same advice. So all that being said, main website, if this is the kind of culture, if this is the kind of organization, these are the kind of people you want in your organization, make sure you go inquire about our employee development workshops on makeyamove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.